All right.
All right, everybody, this is Film Frenzy. We are live and direct, giving you the unfiltered review of movies, movie theaters. I'm your film enthusiast, Jay Masai.
I'm your movie buff, Uncle Swag. What movies did we see this week?
My parents are inviting us to the summer place for the big 4th of July weekend.
I can't leave my father.
This is the first summer since we have to say goodbye to your dear mother, and you're going to leave me to burn his papas and eat the hot dogs alone.
Why don't we just bring him?
Nah, I don't think so.
You hear this? Ladies, he's worried his immigrant father's going to make him look like some kind of Goomba.
All right, listen, if we're going to do this, Dad, you got to dial it down with
With all the... what is this?
And now this film has got Sebastian Maniscalco,
Robert De Niro,
Mr. De Niro,
some other people.
Leslie Bibb, Kim Cattrall. I didn't even know she was in that, and many others. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So we went ahead and checked out this film at iPic theaters in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Yes.
Now iPic theaters is a premium theater. And I don't know. Let's go ahead and dissect the theater just a little bit before we dive into the movie. What are your thoughts about this more of this premium theater?
I liked it better than the Look Theater, but the Look Theater was bought from. The iPic was bought from the Look. Am I correct? Or something like that.
I think Look Dine-In Cinemas. Look-in Dine-in Cinemas comes from iPic theaters.
iPic was better because you know why? You came in right there when you open the door. You got somebody at the box office. The parking, you parked on the street. We went on a Sunday. They did have parking. Come to find out, I didn't have to pay for parking. But anyway,
parking was janky as hell.
To the left, when you go in, you got the bar, the restaurant outside. It was busy. Go up the escalator. Order your food when you go in. I like that because it was comfortable. You had the 2 booths. Only bad thing I didn't like was the seats didn't go all the way back like the others.
Yeah, the seating is like a 2-seater type of pod style.
It's a pod, yes.
And I think there's even ones that have 3,
right,
to my knowledge. But you recline in your seats. Only the leg portion goes up, but the back does not go fully all the way back. So you are just kind of reclining at a half tilt, which is very uncomfortable.
You can download the menu, but
this is true.
I do like the fact that you press the button, the waiter or waitress, server, as they say, comes to you, show you what you want, boom, boom, bye, and your food is brought to you while you're there, not before you get there. And the fact that the drinks were served in a glass, not a small ass cup.
Yeah, service at your seat is definitely pretty fly once you understand that you got to press that button on your serving table to get a server to come to you. That was something that wasn't, intuitive.
Right.
But once you are explained that and you understand how it works, they come right to your seat, you order, food comes to you.
I think the food was better there.
Was a little sloppy in terms of what I ordered, just a cheeseburger, but it was the messiest cheeseburger on the face of the earth.
I had nachos. Nachos weren't bad.
But at the same token, this is just movie theater food, very marginal. The fries were the saving grace for me. And the Sprite was a good Sprite.
Sprite was good.
Cold and easy.
There we go. Bathrooms. Yeah, the bathroom has a very dark goth decor feel to it. You think so?
Black walls.
What the hell bathroom was you in?
You weren't in the bathroom. The bathroom's...
It was in a stall, nigga.
No,
maybe I forget about that.
I was in that too.
It was dark too? It was dark though? I don't remember being in dark.
Yeah, it had black walls. It had... The lightings were recessed lightings on the ceiling in certain strategic parts of it. It just had a very moody look to the bathroom,
I was looking at the fact they had paper towels.
They had paper towels and some
the last place
blue liquid soap that looked like Barbicide that you see in a barber shop. It was a little weird.
It was a shave.
They play like funky top 40s mixes in there while you're in there. They got like funky art in there, some...
The art wasn't that bad.
Yeah, the art
was more upscale. You see, everybody was dressed, right?
It's like everybody a high-end hotel.
Exactly. It was a high-end, it was downtown, which was nice. And it's 2 levels.
Yeah.
You got the restaurant and stuff downstairs. Upstairs is movie time.
Exactly.
They had in a little bar. I like the top seats better. For some reason, I like the top seats.
The top seats. Yeah, this is a place you go and take your girlfriend or your wife or your significant, and you get cozy because that's the way this type of setup looks. Or you go with a bunch of your friends or something.
Bring a blanket.
Bring a blanket. Bring a jacket. It does get a little chilly in there. They got that AC blasting that kind of comes right down on the back of your neck. So they try and keep you comfy from the heat.
From the heat. There we go.
They do have a concession called aptly titled iPic Express, sectioned off with velvet ropes. And you can find out more in detail about the theaters by checking out the blog site, The Solid Perspective, midnightmagicmedia.com/blog-1. Check that out. We got reviews of movie theaters as well as many other things. But let's just jump right into the film. About father. Kind of like this modern day Meet the Fockers where you got one family class, lower class,
I feel too.
that's getting ready to meet the upper crust, upper class, high elite socialites. And then there's the constant
Snobs.
clashing. Yeah, if you want to say that, muckety mucks, big wigs. And it's the clash of social classes.
Sebastian, I don't know how you're going to fit in.
Where's my team?
Don't these people have jobs?
They got their money in the stock market, not in mayonnaise jars buried in their backyard.
I just hope nothing gets stolen this weekend because these people love to blame the immigrant.
Right. It was based off Sebastian's stand-up.
Off his stand-up.
It was about his dad, about his father, was played by Robert De Niro, which Robert De Niro was funny.
Robert De Niro was hilarious. He was
hilarious.
Definitely.
I like the little brother, the hippie.
Okay, so we got to break it down for folks out there. So, Sebastian is getting ready to meet his fiance's family, and he's going to try and propose to his fiance in front of their family over 4th of July weekend. And they got many interesting characters. One of the characters that Uncle Swag is talking about is Doug Collins, who was the bohemian brother of the fiance. And this dude was he was definitely funny. I mean, talk a little bit more about that, Uncle Swag, since you like that character.
He was on some shit.
What was he on?
You name it. He was on it. He was on the peace and love, harmony. The family, the mother and father were like, their kids never grew up. Matching pajamas. They owned the hotel, the resort.
Yeah.
That was on the plantation. That used to be a plantation. So basically slave owners. Then Robert De Niro comes from a middle class hairdresser type. Like you said, it was just a clash. I think the little brother, Doug.
He was funny because he's like this dude that, I don't know, he suffers from anxiety. He uses sound therapy to kind of, calm himself down. And like, there's so much comedy that's like pulled out of that. This dude's got like these sound bowls where he does his sound therapy. And later on in the film, these are used for comedic effect when Robert De Niro's character named Salvo, who coincidentally is a very interesting character in and of himself because he's a hairdresser for women, but he's just like this top hairdresser for women in his community.
Right.
In any event, he makes the family dinner, and he uses the sound bowls as like kind of like, for pasta and stuff like that. And, Doug's like, I wish you wouldn't used my sound bowls for the food, but, it does taste delicious.
We won't tell you what he cooked. Now, what do you think about Sebastian in this movie?
I think Sebastian was good. I think he's, he's definitely, he reminds me a lot of like a Ben Stiller type of character that like, he fumbles, he bumbles, he searches for who he is in the crisis of trying to, woo his lady into marriage, trying to be,
right,
play all the equal sides and stuff like that. But in my opinion, he is slightly funnier than Ben Stiller. And I think that comes from the fact that he's a stand-up comedian and he's able to really pull that energy and give a performance that's very well rounded.
You know, this is the second movie that him and Robert De Niro were in together, right?
What's the first movie?
The Irishman.
Ah, okay.
Sebastian played a gangster.
Oh wow, I would love to see that.
Yeah, he really played this gangster. I forget his name, Joe something. He played that goddamn role though.
Okay.
So this is different, but this is their second movie together.
Well, how would you rank him in that movie, The Irishman? Because I didn't see that. He was he good in that?
I want to see more of it.
Okay.
Sebastian. He just pulled it off.
You know, I seen Sebastian in another film that I thought he was okay in. It didn't seem like it was a stretch of any character or anything. But if you ever watched the movie The Green Book,
Yes.
with Mahershala Ali, he
Yes.
was in that character. But he was one of the
eggplants.
Yeah, he was one of the more racist characters.
You left our sister with the eggplant.
It's not one that you could actually get behind, but I did think he was very, very funny in this. He uses a lot of self-deprecating humor that worked to extreme effect. And I think his performance was solid. That's for sure. Some of the other funny moments definitely came from the supporting characters. I had a very well-rounded cast outside of Sebastian and Robert De Niro. You have Kim Cattrall as the mother-in-law or mother-in-law to be. So yeah, and then you have Leslie Bibb, very familiar actress in terms of all of the stuff that she's done. Yeah, and then you also had Lucky, who I thought was really funny, the arrogant brother. The one that was just super arrogant, was a druggie. Father didn't want to hand him the keys to the hotel business. But, nonetheless, it was they had very differing and funny character roles.
Right.
What's the favorite scene? Uncle Swag, tell us what's your favorite scene out of that entire movie.
The boat.
Hey, Dad, check it out. I can dive.
Look at that. He's very athletic. He's quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets it from my side.
Woo-hoo! Look at this.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, shit. Sebastian, your suit.
It's Versace. Do you like it?
Oh, you moron. It's not up.
You're down.
Oh, God.
Bubba Gump. Nice shrimp.
The which one?
When a man went on talking about skiing and whatever, water skiing. And the water holes in his damn pants came off.
Well, there's not too much spoiler there because
that was the high point of the movie.
They showed that in tons of
commercials.
To
but
try and
it
get
was
you
just
to,
watch that and the tennis.
And tennis.
The tennis part. Because he didn't want his father to know they took tennis lessons.
Right. So that's definitely a funny part.
That was funny for me.
Yeah, Sebastian did not want his father, De Niro, to know that he, paid for tennis lessons and actually took them. For him, it was a contention point of spending any type of money on any sport that he didn't deem was like,
right.
part of his family lineage.
I saw Sebastian live in Vegas.
How was it?
At a comedy show?
Uh-huh.
It's a freaking nut, man. He's a freaking nut. He's animated. You know who he reminds me of his animation? John Ritter. I think he's right there with John. He's not Jim Carrey, but he's there with John Ritter.
Okay.
With the physical comedy and the way he just did stupid stuff.
The voiceover was a decent touch in terms of helping us understand his father and all these characters real fast, setting it up real quickly without having to, give too much backstory. You're up to speed on everything that happens because of that.
I think the movie, all the way through, was no boring parts. Wasn't nothing, bad. So you can't. It was decent.
No, the comedy moves very well. It's well paced. The comedy moves in a way where there's a laugh every 5 minutes. Yeah. Even less than that, But there's always something that's building, and there's always a laugh that's behind it. Funniest part to me was the actual dinner that Robert De Niro cooks up for the fiance's family because he's trying to save Grace at this point in the film. He feels like he's trying to ingratiate himself, trying to help his son out, if you will.
Right.
So he makes them a real he makes them an authentic Italian dinner.
Chicken something.
An authentic Italian dinner. Everybody's
Gotta have chicken.
Loving it. Everybody's loving the chicken. They're just biting into it, and it's slow motion shots of them eating it and laughing.
Drinking their wine.
Drinking their wine.
Eating their chicken up.
Unbeknownst to them, they have a family peacock that they've just indoctrinated into this family. It's part of their family.
I forgot the name of the peacock.
Lineage. Yeah, this peacock is part of the family.
Wasn't the peacock Larry or some shit?
Something like that. And Robert De Niro actually killed the peacock and used it as part of the dish because
allegedly,
but that's that's what happened.
As he said, allegedly.
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 That was definitely one of the most funny moments in that film. And it does a good job of like talking about social class and even the internal family, struggles. I think the fiance, she is an artist and she does paintings, and then she ends up finding out that her parents were the ones buying her paintings for the hotels. And gets very upset about that. Robert De Niro's this Arnie father that just, he's got this cantankerous view of everything. And
he was straight up. He wasn't.
He could not view anything out of his perspective outside his neighborhood and community. So if it's not the way he sees things in his neighborhood, then it's like it's not for him. It's not.
Well, that's because he was an immigrant.
He was an immigrant.
So that's all he knew.
He also did not want his son to kind of like, go through the certain struggles that he went through,
right,
and whatnot. But it limited him, and it also limited his son in the certain choices.
I see that. Now, what would you give this movie?
Well, before we get to the actual rating of the movie, it was actually not filmed, but it takes place over the 4th of July holiday weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And coincidentally, this film came out kind of like on the heels of like it becoming summer in terms of the theater release. Not necessarily Memorial. Oh, actually, it was Memorial Day weekend this came out, right? Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Now, I have a slight gripe with that.
Uh-oh.
Now, hear me out. I think it's a fair gripe.
All right.
But if you're thinking about putting anything out on the 4th of July holiday weekend, we have to see some type of comedic mishap with fireworks. Don't you think? Don't you think that's something that could have been added to there to kind of add more fun and punch to it or whatever?
Yeah, you're right. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. I think they just watched a regular fireworks show. Yeah. Nah, man.
No, the wedding. The proposal.
At the proposal, yes.
But something should have happened.
But that's just like the more tongue-in-cheek events that coincide with him proposing and that.
Somebody should have got caught on fire, right? That's what you want to say.
They should have something.
Lit somebody ass up.
Something funny, something hilarious.
The dad is something, but everybody was cool.
Well, here's something for the creative Hollywood minds out there. How about they were having the big shindig right before the proposal in a tented area, and all the fireworks were getting ready to be going off, but they were aimed in the wrong direction going into the tent or something like that, and causing all types of calamity and whatnot. I mean, we need to see some extra funny comedy with the fireworks is all I'm trying to say.
Somebody catch fire.
Want to see the tent burn down and have them all running out fleeing for their lives.
I think that would have been good.
That'd have been hilarious.
You gotta let them know.
That'd have been funny.
Absolutely.
The movie's an hour and 29 minutes.
Yeah, I think it went too quick.
It moves by very, very fast. I don't think there's, for comedies, an hour 40 minutes is probably the longest you want it to be anyway.
Yeah, before you lose
so
interest.
it doesn't drag.
Absolutely.
Going to the ratings. Let's see. Out of 5 bags of popcorn, I give this a solid 3.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
3 bags of popcorn.
I'm about a solid 3. Yeah.
It's fun. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at some offensive jokes too.
There wasn't that much offensive stuff, was it?
Well, there wasn't anything too offensive, but they did start talking about the all this, this country club was founded on, plantation slavery stuff. And see, as an African American, you're like, meh.
You ain't like that.
Well, it's like, where do we go with that? But the twist that they had was the brother Doug, and how he had a girlfriend that throughout the entire film you didn't know who this girl was.
Thought he was making her up.
Yeah, and then the mother says, "Oh, she's this Nigerian girlfriend or whatever," and they're thinking it's,
Africa.
From Africa. That it's more of those Nigerian scams that you get when you're giving people money and you're like, But come to find out, he actually has a Nigerian princess or a Nigerian girlfriend, educated at the end.
Doctors and shit.
And I thought they could have explored that. That could have came in earlier in the film. Why?
I think they threw that in the last. That's how I feel. Maybe they threw that in the last moment.
Yeah, but why throw it in last moment? Why have this this sister only get 15 minutes of the film when she could have had 45 minutes of it?
Well, she couldn't have had none, but they brought her in. She got a paycheck. I'm just saying.
Well, it makes it seem like that they wrote that last minute. Like,
this would
be a funny idea.
Let's throw this in there.
Throw this in there. Yeah, exactly.
To be correct.
Diversity, huh?
So would you go back and watch this movie again?
Probably not.
No, I'll wait for it to come out.
But I for sure would watch the whole thing through if it did come out on cable.
There we go.
Yes.
How about the theater? What you give that rating?
iPic theater, I give it 3.5. 3.5 buckets of popcorn. It was slightly above average.
I'm a little stuck.
Slightly.
I'm a little stuck on it. I can't really give it a rating. I'm stuck.
It definitely has that, upscale, like you said, bougie feel to it.
Bougie.
Great place to take
wasn't
a date,
that many kids though.
Your wife, whoever, significant other, if you want to kind of impress them just a little bit, a touch beyond the regular cinemas.
Correct.
Parking is hairy. And driving there, if you're not coming in locally, is hairy because it's right there. It's like the last exit before you hit the George Washington Bridge into New York City. Manhattan. Let me tell you something. You're going to hit some bottleneck traffic trying to get off these freeways, highways.
Almost got an accident. I almost missed the exit.
And parking is very scarce. There's a gravel lot you could park in if you want.
Right. I've seen parking down the road too. It's like a double-decker parking, but
that I'm sure you probably have to pay for.
Absolutely.
But I lucked out on a Sunday.
Price range.
This is what I say about the experience of it. As I thought the experience of just being in and around the theater was better than the actual in-theater experience watching the movie.
Right.
I had a better time walking the hallways, talking to staff, looking at the cool stuff that they have. It was an enjoyable movie. It was a decent time. Will I go back for more? Yeah, I think I probably want to venture and see other different movie theaters and experience other things. I think if you live locally in New Jersey and you're local to Fort Lee, go for it. I think if you are driving there,
you might as well forget it.
You better go for the 11 a.m. film. I'm telling you without lie. There's a lot of posh restaurants and shops and stuff. You're not going to find parking. You're not.
Absolutely.
I only found it because I'm lucky. All right. Any final thoughts about Father?
See it if there's nothing else to be seen. It's not a bad movie. It's actually a funny movie. You'll like it. A quick movie. So that's all I gotta say about that. Like again, I'll wait to where to come out on Paramount or something to watch it.
That's it for us with Film Frenzy about Father and iPic Theaters. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. Check us out on TikTok, Midnight Magic Media. Check out our reviews on our blogs and be back for more with Film Frenzy. I'm Jay Masai. We out.